On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, 19 million downloads happened. There's also some other stuff leading up to Lost Bout 7. And Chrimbus is on the horizon. 2 Chrimbuses, actually. Because we have a rerun, oh my god. Shock, pogface. I mean, I am actually kind of shocked, but we'll talk about that later. Hello, I am one of your hosts. I am Glass Omega. With me, as always, is Coach Lucky.
I hope everyone is enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka Boxer Day. And while we here at Studio Mega like to bring you the latest in FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events about the JP and E version of the game. So anyone not wanting spoilers should be able to rest their Lotto finger for now.
For just a few more days. And yes, they have in fact fully announced that we've got our lovely Christmas Santa Karna event coming. So we'll be giving you the full pregame rundown later, along with some other news and more. And somehow, majestically, this is also happening in JP. I wonder who could have arranged such timing. Fortuitous. You know what's also fortuitous? Our patrons. Y'all are great. I'd love to shout out some of you, like Adam DeHarp, Architect 10, Bugs G, Carlos, Dragon, Ferris, Jerry Vasquez, Joseph Buffet, Jonathan Sandoval, Legendary Boss Hunter, Regent Raptor, Rise of Kenji, Rogue Robyn, Trevor, Sean Pryor, Some Guy Named Bob, Siren 23, and Vern the Crow. If you like what you do and want to see some more, consider supporting us on Patreon. Get access to it early. Lots of other goodies. We hope us out. Thank you for support, everybody. Buttery smooth transitions.
Buttery.
Like you didn't even know there was going to be a segue there. A segue. A segua. I make that joke because segue's not spelled the way that you think it is. Unless you know how it's spelled. But if you think how it's spelled, it's probably spelled the other way.
Isn't it like S-E-G-U-E?
Yeah, that's the literary way or the language way to spell it. The segue with like the W-A-Y is the mobility device.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got a lovely little show for you today. And we did have a show last week, in case you missed it somehow, some way. You might have. Just saying, looking at the numbers. You might have missed it. Check it out. But let's check in with everybody's favorite Kohai, Mesh.
Senpai! 起きてください.
Because it is time for Wake the Second... Senpai, our regular segment for pro tips. I'm not quite sure what words I said there, but they sound like what I normally say. This one's pretty basic. I don't have anything crazy for you, but I just want to let you guys know there's an upcoming feature in the Lotto. You're going to be able to roll 100 prizes at a time, clear out 100 items instead of just 10. But you can only do that after you clear all the grand prizes. So only once you're in unlimited Lotto time. So please keep that in mind. You can't do it right away. And don't be in my Discord asking, why can't I open 100 things? Not even ironically. Just because I know you filthy animals, and I'm letting you know, I will delete your posts if you do that. But yes, after the first 10, then you can open 100 prizes at a time, and that's important to know. It is true, but there are often a lot of tooltips. Some people might just see the screen cap about the instructions and be like, woo, 100! But it is important to keep in mind. I feel like asking questions ironically that I told you not to ask is worse. Padaru were just try not to melt the server.
But that doesn't mean that you're allowed to spam Padoro either.
It's true. We already have pre-existing rules about posting too many images, emotes, or GIFs all at once. If not only because eventually, yes, you guys will cause people's computers to fucking melt. We have had that happen. I think some people on mobile couldn't get in our general chat after a particularly robust bout of GIFs, and I had to go in on PC and use my mod powers to just start trimming them so people could use the fucking channel again. So, be careful, y'all. Oh, I know what they're going to ask about the boxes, but we'll see. I'll explain what's in the boxes later. You guys may be able to project how many boxes I will feel like opening after that. But that all comes in the pregame, so make sure to stay after the flip. We don't have anything new in Records or Evil today. I have just been chipping away very lightly at interludes and stuff. Farming Bond, getting through things.
Mm-hmm.
Having a good time. Eating a pie.
I got sick off a pie.
Oof, really bad pie.
Mm-hmm. Betrayal.
So, let's do... Did you finish your master missions? Pretty simple this week. You need to defeat 15 humanoid enemies, defeat 15 Saber Lashers or Assassins, not servants or bosses, and then that's the same for Archer or Caster and Rider or Berserker. Then complete 5 quests and complete 10 quests, depending on what interludes and rank ups and dailies you're doing, because it is, keep in mind, all dailies are open for a little bit anyway, I think. Yeah, it should still be until the 12th. But keeping all that in mind, you can probably farm all these pretty easily. The main thing will be humanoids, which I'm pretty sure you can scrub up in Fuyuki. Otherwise, I think your cheapest will be like Fuyuki's, Marseille, stuff like that. Should be pretty easy. Yeah, I talked about Say's interlude last time. It was pretty funny. But we're grinding them level ups and stuff. So let's do Skelegrams. I have arranged these in chronological order, including the future. So, first on my list, from JP, Lost About 7 pre-release support campaign, part 2. Started on the 5th, goes until the 12th. There is a new PV. The trailer played when you loaded the app, but it's also on the internet. It doesn't really seem to suggest anything in particular. It's just kind of ominous and garbly. But there are further limited-time missions for and login stuff for some leyline stones, some EXPs, some prisms, and some extra mats tickets. In addition to your normal mats tickets, you get extra exchanges, stuff like that. By the way, I don't know if we ever actually mentioned this, but I put in my notes that some of those Singularity Support Campaign areas did have some rank-ups in it. Shiba's Interlude was added with the last batch, which I think we talked about the banner that they announced. That improves her charisma, so now it's the full 10 to 20%, and also gives her a 20-30% battery. Pretty decent. Shiba wants to loop, this should help her do that. And also, not an interlude, but a strengthening quest, a rank up. Musashi's first skill got buffed. Now it's 3 turns on the extra hits and the damage increase, and also gives her 3 turns of 500 to 1k damage cut as well. Pretty interesting. Extending that longevity. Don't think we covered that. It's a little old, but, good to tuck in here. But yeah, we're really gearing up to Lost Belt 7. I do believe, from what I've read, it doesn't say that Lost Belt 7 will require 6.5, just that you will have to have cleared Tunguska to get to it. So, keep that in mind. But that might also just be the pre-release stuff. I think it's the alert. So, next, as we talked about, we did indeed get 19 million downloads campaign, our latest downloads campaign in NA. That also started the 5th our time, goes to the 12th. Log in for tens of things, for a total of 7 days or 4 days cumulative, get lots of little things, rare prisms, etc., etc. There are now new master missions for CE leveling. If you have at least a CE at level 100, you get up to 20 sync quartz. This is the only one I have yet to claim. I've got a level 95 CE. I just need a good excuse of lots of little CEs to infuse in there. No, I don't stockpile CE bombs for, extra double suck or whatever. You guys think I have the brain space to think about that all the time? I have to write scripts. I gotta write a new Wanted this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, I cannot write Wanted scripts and play FGO at the same time. That requires, 4 hands. But, we do also get our Leyline Stone releases. They were extended. And also, there are limited time master missions to get some more for story progress, get 7 stones and 14 Saint Quartz. As I, talked about over the past couple of weeks, not really happy how this shook out with their timing. I know that they probably wanted to make sure there was a new, event of a kind in November to make sure that they had, cool announcements for, Anime NYC and stuff. I'm not really happy that it took them 2 weeks to give us the extra leyline stones, because I absolutely would have used them in Heian Kill, and now I cannot use them because I didn't want to wait 2 or 3 weeks to clear story content. Really hopeful, and they probably won't, because I don't think the schedules will be as tight. Because, obviously, Lost Belt 7 is supposed to come out late December. But I really hope they don't do the same with, Lost Belt 7, because they're also doing, like I said, a leyline revamp. That said, our November, we already have a November event, which will be, Chaldea Fairy Night Cup, so It should be okay. It's just one of those weird cases where they shook up the release order a little bit to, bring in new content sooner, but that does mean that we did kind of lose out on the stuff that makes the new content easier. It's not a huge deal, it's just important to note. But during this time period, you got quarter AP story, half AP free quests, double suck chance, all dailies open every day. No half AP on that, but still. Makes clearing those master missions pretty easy. We have a new MP shop CE added, Take Romance, that's QP and Master EXP, up. And also Detective Foams is now in the RP shop, if you missed it. I believe Foams is Bonded QP. It's definitely QP, but I don't remember what the other one is. Also, as you might expect, we've been talking about it. We've been warning you. Murasaki Summon Banner. It happened. You've known it's going to happen, hopefully, since we've been yelling about it for several weeks. But some people do live under rocks and just, don't listen to the show. But, moving on, I don't know if I'd say this is the biggest news, but it's very interesting news. Out of JP, just started. Christmas 2020 rerun? I put a question mark in this. The question mark's not in the title, but this is my question mark. Started the 7th, going until the 19th. So I guess we do get reruns sometimes. Technically, I don't think that Losengal ever said they weren't going to do reruns, just that they wanted to do less of them. It's very interesting that we're here, but we are here, and they do have some of the usual rerun type things you would note. Santa Karna's coming back, so you can get him now by clearing the main story and stuff. He's back at double XP like usual. You should get rare prisms for extra copies, so this helps out our rare prism economy and does get you a welfare who people previously thought was going to be one and done. So hey, now you know going into this Christmas event, if you have a crazy holiday season or something, you don't necessarily need to worry. This will come back, we hope.
We hope.
For us. I'm once again, for the sake of the schedule, I'm pretty sure they got to do that at some point, but yeah, it should work out. They've specified that this Lotto box is 20 max, pretty usual for Lotto reruns. So you get all your grand prizes, and then you only get 10 extra boxes. So you can't go ham, but you did just have Fairy Night Cup if you wanted to go ham on a brand new Lotto. And they have announced 3 summon banners for this. We've got Ritra, Martha as one, Karna Parvati as another, and Arjuna Beowulf as the third, so all 3 separate banners. Kind of in a stair-step formation, different pity rates, or pity trackers, I should say. Same sync quartz level for pity, though if you're not spending them evenly, I guess it is a different rate. Anyway, semantics aside, 3 separate banners, 1 SSR and 1 SR on rate up, all of them. And this coincides fairly well, though not exactly, with North America's announcement, Gloria Pass to Santa Claus, the sealed Christmas present. No question marks. Possible exclamation points. Which has been announced on our end. There is a social media goal out there. Get 6 Saint Quartz if we hit the thing. We are probably hitting the thing. But yeah, there's 6 Saint Quartz on the line. And they have announced the dates. It will start the 12th and go until the 25th. So, as usual, we've got our lovely little perfect Christmas timing. So, Christmas Lotto is coming. I thought that said incoming for a second. That is not what I wrote in my notes. Just regular coming. No in. Now, after the flip and the dip, we do got you a pregame coming, but expect all the usual stuff. It is a Lotto. Those of you who have been with FGO for a while know what that means. Hopefully, honestly, anybody who hasn't started like right now knows, because there was obviously a dance tournament in Land of Shadows earlier. But it's a Lotto event. This one is full, so there's not the limit on boxes. Feel free to rack up those numbers and brag about them online all you like. But, as I noted above, there is a new feature. They have specified this will have a relatively new implementation where obviously, normally you roll boxes, 10 at a time, you unlock 10 prizes, move on, 10 out of 300, mind you. Once you've cleared the 10th box, you've cleared all the grand prizes, you can now roll up to 100 per opening. So, one box is literally 3 clicks, assuming you have enough currency. This should also come, actually no, not even should, will, because it's already in all the details. Shout out to them for actually, lining this all out, 3 days ahead of time, no surprise releases. Actually, technically, 4, I think this was announced, 1 or 2 days ago. But anyway, Beowulf has his rank up incoming. That should be his buff to his guts. Should give him more guts in his guts, and also some, bonus damages to guys that Beowulf should beat up, like giants and dragons. And the banner is announced. It will be new SSR Lancer Ritra, with Summer, Martha, and Beowulf also on rate up. Ritra will be permanent after this, and also, I believe, there's no staggering for this at all. It's just that there's no rotation between the 2 SRs. So it's just Martha and Beowulf are up all the time with Ritra to make pity work. So yeah, got some lovely little synergy there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, obviously, the Lotto's cool. Ritra's kind of cool. But we're in kind of a sandwich mode. Ibuki's banner came, and then we know Muramasa's banner will be coming for New Year's, so that'll be pretty interesting. Though I do have a few tickets stockpiled, at least, to fish for CEs and stuff. The interesting thing about this, I think, is like I said, the cross-promotion and the idea that I guess we will do some interludes sometime. Or not interludes, reruns. We'll also do interludes sometime. Did a fuck ton of interludes for the support campaign, the Singularity one. Guys, can you tell I'm freeballing off my show notes? But no, to get to my point, it's just overall very interesting. I'd love to know your thoughts at home, people. Leave those in the comments about the rerun. Obviously, because there was no rerun of this in the first, 1 year period, because obviously there was Tunguska and lots of other stuff going on. There was a brand new Christmas and the Tunguska afterward. Again, the schedule got kind of pushed up, got kind of pinched. But I know that some people were disappointed about no Santa Karna return, so here it is. And I don't really know what this means for future content vis-a-vis reruns and welfares, right? Because we skipped a summer rerun for just some banners and some cross-promotion, but no recovery of the Da Vinci welfare. Does this mean that next year, if they have a Dead Space in summer, they will do a rerun and bring the Summer Da Vinci from last year or 2 years ago then back? Or what? I don't know. I feel like this rerun happening doesn't actually tell us anything other than that this rerun is happening, right? I think is the best way I can put it. A lot of people like to, think about theorycraft, sometimes even obsess over the patterns, the single patterns. We'll get this servant for so-and-so, and this event is happening this year, and we'll see these characters here. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're not. I don't want to say that Lasingle necessarily goes out of its way to, break up memes and change patterns and whatnot. I think it's just kind of natural for an ongoing service game like this to not be able to do literally the same thing every single time, right? You can't, constantly be doing the exact same moves. Eventually you'll run out of inspiration or ideas, or you'll have a better idea at that same time period and have to shake it out. So I guess this was just, as we predicted, Lost Belt 7 was going to be late December, so they have the front half of December to fill in. This does make it seem like there will be no new Christmas, probably? Though there is still some gap time. Let me actually look at the dates. So the 19th is a Monday. Yeah, that's about a week before Christmas. So they're going to have a live stream on Christmas Eve, I believe. I think it's Christmas Eve. It might be Christmas Day, but there's a couple of live streams coming. Yeah, Christmas Eve. That will, I feel confident in saying, with the way things are paced out, that will almost assuredly be the Lost Belt 7 drop live stream, right? So we're going to get Lost Belt 7. It's going to be out. You're going to have about a week to, or a little over a week to, no, it's about a week. You'll have about a week to clear it all and catch up, and then there's going to be another stream on New Year's, their typical New Year's stream, where presumably our actual Lost Belt 7 summon banners will kick in. May or may not be some actual standalone time for Lost Belt 7, separate events, or that might be rolled into New Year's. There'll be a lucky bag, obviously. I'm going to guess that probably means there's not going to be a New Year's type event this year, because,
no.
It'll only be that first week of Lost Belt 7. So there's about a week between the end of the Christmas rerun and that thing happening. I'm pretty sure that means there's not going to be a new Christmas. I don't know what will be in that slot. It might be an interlude campaign. It might be some hunting missions. They do usually like to do hunting quests just before a story drop to, give you some spooky sneak peeks at some enemies or something. Give you an opportunity to juice up. Feel free to speculate wildly in the comments about what will fill that gap week, but that does kind of mean that we're probably not going to be getting a brand new Christmas welfare, but we are getting a return of an old one, and it's been about 2 years and he didn't have a rerun, so that's nice. I'm not going to say it's not nice, it's just a little weird.
Honestly, when you think about it, Christmas events are actually I would say is probably one of FGO's weakest events throughout the year. So they might be working on, maybe catching up on a backlog of making people have welfare, and they might just start, discontinuing them. Like last year's with Christmas event was, no offense to, Santa Martha and all that stuff, but was very bare bones, and they might just be moving away from it as a whole.
Yeah, I think even the people who played it, said it was pretty mid. There didn't really seem to be anything that interesting about it from the setup. They did not have a brand new servant banner. Christmas Martha, fucking Summer Martha is basically a permanent Christmas unit at this point, so giving her a Christmas alt kind of makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think as a unit she was very interesting. So it just kind of happened because they needed a brand new Christmas Lotto. But again, with Night Cup, they got that out of the way at the end of the year anyway, so we're just, maybe we're moving to, they're going to keep the, seasonal late fall, winter Lotto, early winter Lotto, but they're going to make it not necessarily Christmas themed? Who knows? The plots for the Christmas events have definitely gotten more and more weird and bare bones as time has went on.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically hitting that point where Halloween eventually hit, where we were just like, yep, it's Halloween, something weird's gonna happen, where the fuck is Liz? And then they did that for 3 years in a row, and they kind of ran out of juice a little bit. And then they, brought it back after a break. So I'm sure that when somebody's creative juices are stoked, we'll probably get a new actual Christmas event, But yeah, they've definitely been a little low on energy, and we already know that the cycle of Christmas reruns is broken because of the Samba Kets one that never came back.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that one was probably the most unique story-wise, because it was kind of like the weird, Samba's not anywhere near Christmas, and FGO should know that, but, like, definitely some, the funny puns and stuff, we were at least doing something slightly different.
Mhm.
But in general, just, it's Christmas time. Every servant wants to be Santa. We're all gonna get beat up about it. Spoilers, but not spoilers. I'm pretty sure looking at the quest list, that's kind of what this one is about. I mean, it's called The Glorious Path to Santa Claus, so there's some extra vibes, there's some extra thematics on this, because I do feel like, plot-wise, they're going to lean very heavily on Ritra and some of the thematic elements related to that. We'll talk about that when we get to the bonus list in the pregame. But, yeah, it's just very interesting. I guess when you pre-announce that there are no more new banners this year, no more new servant banners, to clarify, that definitely gives you carte blanche to be like, well, you can do a rerun banners. They're not shy about the banners. The banners have been busting out all over the place, right? They brought back Muramasa for Lost Belt 6. There's all kinds of banners for the Singularity campaigns, so they've got some stuff going on. And once again, chat, I will reiterate, please feel free to let me know what you think about this particular rerun or how Christmas events have kind of been going in general, what you feel about all that stuff. Let us know in the comments. We like to get a read on the people, but I think that's everything I got for Skelegrams today.
Yeah.
Gotta throw in a little yeah.
All right, then. With that, then, let us move over to this week's Let's Talk FGO Mailbag, the segment where we read what you have to say and comment accordingly. This week, we have a lovely 13, which surprised me slightly because I literally got the hey, Lucky, do the mailbag yesterday, and I had a what moment. And I was like, oh yeah, I didn't actually fucking do that.
Listen, it makes sense. We were all just waiting all week for the Game Awards.
You really were, yeah.
And Wednesday, when you usually drop it, that was an extra long Final Fantasy 14 stream, because I had to, I don't know if I want to say exactly beat A Realm Reborn, but mostly beat A Realm Reborn. Technically, we're going to
beat the MSQ.
I beat MSQ.
What we call it. Yeah.
So that was a slightly longer than normal stream as well. So we were busy. But yeah, 13. It always feels like when you accidentally post it late, people are in a rush, but when you try to, force post it late, people are just like, nah, it's weird. You people are weird. Anyway, 13, good number.
A solid number. So, our first one comes from the Tyrant King repairing his Rocky music so that way he can farm till he drops.
Fly now.
Question: Hey, Fist Fighter Lucky and Sword Fighter Omega. Excuse you, I am Staff Fighter Lucky right now. I am spinning this staff to win. With the QOL updates coming in hard and fast, which do you think we'll get next? Also, which of your favorite what is your favorite holiday special / episode that you've watched? Anyway, that's it for me. Sending good vibes your way. Wah, 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 wah. And hope you have a great evening.
Everybody, I would like you to pencil in on your official Big Note cards. Omega is calling his shot Grail casting for New Year's NA 2023.
It would do that as well, personally.
That's my next best. Yeah. Go ahead, Lucky.
Ooh. Sorry, I swallowed some ice there, and it's cold.
Cold as ice.
And unfortunately, I really don't have a preferred holiday special / episode. I said, yeah.
I've always been really fond of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but chat should hopefully know by now, if you've been following us for a few years, that I do have a Christmas time tradition, which is I will watch Die Hard. I don't care that Bruce Willis says it's not a Christmas movie. It is a Christmas movie. But that's just, a me thing. A funny me time event.
So, let us move on. This next one comes from The Eternal Storm, who says, hey guys, hope you are staying warm. Question: with the release of Santa Karna NA and the rerun in JP, I wanted to ask, what male servant should get a Santa version? Thank you for your time and effort.
That is AKS, by the way. So I want to get us a Russian surplus gun. Now, male servant Santas.
Santa Merlin.
That would be... Oh my god, that would be... Oh. Can we say problematic? I think we can say problematic.
Since when is a Santa not problematic in some way?
True, but I feel like that's just asking for it. What do you want for Christmas, little girl? Is it a sword of selection? Merlin would put on the fake beard. He would actually do that. Altera the Santa style. He would have the fake beard and mustache.
Santa Ashian Doman.
I mean, I believe that is a joke. He talks about trying to be in Christmas because of the Nightingale Christmas. I presume he will have some involvement in our upcoming Christmas because it is, vaguely Indian themed. But I also know that he didn't get the welfare alt, so could leave it open for a sequel. Santa Eric Bloodaxe.
I can see that.
Just for the shits and giggles. Just for the shiggles. Eric Bloodaxe doesn't get enough action. Yeah, Santa Caesar is he's gonna eat your milk and cookies and he's gonna take the present for himself.
He's gonna call it a Christmas tax. Santa Moriarty is a choice one, and I am 100% behind this. No, Santa Kentucky.
I mean, Kentucky would kill it as Santa.
Yeah.
Moriarty, I would feel like I just brought up the Grinch. That would be fucking Santa Moriarty steals Christmas right there. Like, he's not supposed to be Santa. He's trying to fucking steal Christmas, and then at the end of it, we make him, experience true holiday spirit or whatever.
But in the end, he's just be like, nah, I like being evil. Blah!
We just take the hat off and it goes back.
But no, I'm gonna double down on...
Hoops drew this.
I'm gonna double down on Santa Kentucky.
Solid choice. Golden Christmas.
A very golden Christmas. That's gonna be my seasonal fucking greeting. And people are just gonna be like, what? And I'm gonna be like, I know what I said.
And a golden new year. There you go. There's like 5.
Yeah. So, with that, let's move on. Next one comes from Moon is sleep deprived again. Question, hello there, Omega and Lucky. Hope you're having a good sleep since Christmas is approaching. What's your favorite part of this holiday? Well, when it comes to, Christmas, I think my favorite actually thing is seeing decorations. I love seeing, lit up houses and trees and garlands and all that stuff. Festivals of lights. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the Christmas vibes,
Yeah.
Some of the music, not all of the music. Sometimes you loop that stuff a little too much, but definitely, a little bit of lights, get the tree, get some ornaments.
Clearly, this is Mariah Carey Eldritch Pan to live forever by sticking that fucking song in our head for eternity.
We can fire up the, we actually have a fireplace so we can stick stockings in front of it just for the aesthetic. Doesn't actually matter that much. Just get some vibes, get some lights. Sometimes you go ham with the lights. Lights are cool. It's always that fun little extra vibe, when you see the little bits of color in the night. Chat, what's your favorite part of the holiday? Let me know in the comments below. I'm gonna have to relax my calls to action. I think I'm hitting my ratio too fast.
I think you were. I was about to say something. I was all like, But let us move on. This next one comes from a master doodly sailing in the bone mines where Ibuki Bar hops with Suzuka and Tamamo.
The Bone Zone.
Bone Zone. My Ibuki's only 666 right now, so I'm a little... Gotta keep working on that.
I think I ended up 1066. I really wanted that battery, chat. But that was a lot of QP and a lot of bones.
A lot of Bone Zone, as we like to say. But this person says, hey, Lucky and Omega. Hope you guys are doing good with the end of another year almost here. The upcoming events and releases make my wallet tremble in fear. In the spirit of New Year's and new beginnings, my question this week is, which character from Arthurian legend would you like to see introduced into FGO? I'm amazed that Guinevere has not received any official artwork as far as I know, and she is one of the key characters from the lore. Sending you the good vibes, wah 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 wah. And see you next week for Lotto farming. Let's see, Arthurian character.
I think Guinevere has some silhouette art, but yeah, not very detailed. It is a little weird. I think it's probably because Nasu and the other writers have to know that's all. The Guinevere-Arthur relationship in modern retellings is always hard to balance because she's not really a bad guy, like an antagonist character. Not in the same way that, say, Morgan is. But also, depending on your telling, it's not usually she and Arthur have a particularly strong relationship. So I could see that just causing a lot of drama for no reason. I think every one of our Knights of the Round characters would be slightly butt-pained. But there's a big wealth of Arthurian characters.
Let's go fucking crazy and go with Sir Dagonet.
It's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Court gesture.
Go with the crazy one.
Some people like Sir Kay. We've almost scratched off my bingo card list, but there is still one Orkney sibling left. We still don't have even a design for Gaheris. We know he exists, but we don't know what he looks like or what he does. So that'd be a good one to slip in there. I also got to admit, I'm kind of curious. I do kind of, because I don't think that Uther Pendragon has ever been described or shown. We know a lot about, he had a lot of plans and setups with, Merlin and stuff, but I don't know if we've ever actually, shown him or had him be a proactive character. I know in some like backstory stuff, Vortigern has come up as a character, but Uther is just remained not really present. So there you go. There's a lot to pick from. There's about a bajillion nights.
Bajillion. Oh, let us move on. This next one comes from Hassan of the thick blonde AoE Lancers. Which one, you ask? Yes. Hey, Lucky Mega, how's it going? Feels like forever since I left the mailbag. It's been a week. Very long week. Just finished Heian story, and I loved it. Albino Seme sounds like Japan's Merlin. I can't wait to see what he looks like when it inevitably comes out. No questions, just going to catch up on last week's episode. Lots of good vibes. Wah, 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 wah. And best of luck for your future roles. You don't have a choice. Cheers. Fuck you. I think if we both said already that we're not rolling right now.
I mean, hypothetically, spins will occur on the banner. Yes, I will spend tickets, but, I just expect to maybe get some CEs out of it.
Yeah. Listen, I got fucking 2 Abukis without spending very little money. My luck is fucking tapped. I have to go slaughter some fucking chickens and, recharge my luck meter. So let us move on. This next one comes from the master getting ringed out by multiple gacha events. Hello, Lucky Mega. Hope you're both are well stocked for food before the holiday craze. My question for you this week is, with the teaser for LB7 a few days ago, I saw some tweets/messages about people being disappointed/annoyed that LB7 has habitats inspired by Brazil and Argentina, but has an Aztec name and implications that South American servants will be LB7, not South American ones. What are your views on this? Stay warm and hydrated this season and can't wait for Mahoyo hype to grow.
Well, I mean, I'm going to say this. I don't know if they have environments inspired by that because it hasn't come out yet. I think they've shown some very Mayan temples in a couple of the shots, but that was also Mesoamerica, the central area. So, I mean, I know they call it Sea of Trees, but also they talk about it being the underworld. So I don't know if that's like actually supposed to be the Amazon. People said it might be the Amazon, but I don't know.
I understand people being upset where it looks like, it's going to be one thing, but people might have misunderstood and do it another thing.
Yeah. We've talked before about how FGO is not always the best at this. They've gotten better, but y'all remember America, right?
Yeah.
That was weird.
But also, you have to understand that, people like FGO is a system that takes things from other places and puts them in other places. Very rarely do we have events where everything is like zone locked to a specific region.
Yeah, it doesn't always line up exactly perfectly. And we don't know what the hypothetical of the Lost Belt is. That is, Lost Belts are intrinsically alternate histories, so again, like you said, I can understand if you thought it was going to be one thing, or you got a certain vibe from like some of the preview images. Those do tend to be kind of like vague and high picture, and it seems like they're not going for that. But before the event really comes out, I don't think we can really level any criticisms yet. Once the event comes out, sure. If it's like, oops, all Central American servants, but it's expressed as like, we're standing in the Amazon right now. Sure. We can levy our criticisms about, the exact focus of it, but I feel like they're planning on playing some of this stuff a little close to the vest and getting a little weird with it, Mr. It's just a perfectly normal travel story. And then, we have a dark, spooky PV. So, we'll see.
So, let us move on. This next one comes from Crashinator with Take 2. This next one comes from Crashinator with starts refusing into his blood because he has finals next week. No question, only Zoom! No, not the professor. Sending good vibes. Wah, 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 wah.
Well, maybe not take your good vibes back, but I return good vibes unto you, sir. Good luck with your finals.
I said good day, sir. I said good day. But with that, we move on. This next one comes from the master who's losing track of days. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Loose is, and loose, throws me off eternally.
That's why I have the power of spell check.
Mm-hmm. Question: didn't we die in the Fate/CCC event in a different timeline? That's why Melt went back in time and saved us. If so, that's how. Bleh. Fuck. Hang on. If so, That's how we were summoned, because there is a dyed version of us. And remember, in any events where we are, in other events, we wear a robot, Valentine's event. And I was thinking it was like Fate Assembled, if Umbral style, in the final story you unlock. That's how I think we were summoned by Kentucky. P.S. I'm weeks behind putting this in. Sorry, good luck on any rolls you're pulling for.
I think you should be sorry for your grammar there, because that one was not great.
I'm trying to parse it.
I think I understand what we're going for. We're talking about the hypothetical of, like, how we could be Kentucky's servant because we technically died, but also, I don't know if that's actually how that works, because remember, Melt went back in time. She undid it. You can actually change time that way. And I don't know where quantum time locks come into CCC. Also, that's implying that that version of us who got fucking melted into sea foam by Kiara could be recorded as a heroic spirit. Don't know.
Also, that's probably, like I said, that's probably just a prune timeline.
Yeah. It's
the
just a
timeline where we died.
If it even counts, again, because remember, Melt, burned herself up to fly back in time, exceed the speed of light, and just do it again. Like, literally went back up the route and started again. Not like how we time travel. That would not necessarily work like that. And at one point, yes, we did get, I don't know. Yeah, I guess that would have been, technically would have been Valentine's, right? That's when MHXA was. Yeah, that was a thing. She had a trial quest, and we were like a robot for a little bit, but that was just our psychic dreams. We have those a lot.
Guys, do you remember when we got a dream to go to do a detective mystery, and we were a girl, apparently? No matter what?
Yeah, you took over somebody's body. You had cognitive dissonance, which is why you saw people as servants.
Mm-hmm.
Also, remember how that was happening in real time, which allowed actual factual Sherlock Holmes to show up? Kugitsu Cup was fun. But yeah, it's interesting to remember that sometimes the timeline does get wonky, but we were not summoned. Like, we're us. We're just us. It's all continuous continuity. That was the Heian Kyo was a mainline story event, and so it literally followed on from Lost Belt 5, and it'll lead into the next Lost Belt stuff, timeline-wise. So, that's not what happened. We weren't summoned by Kentucky. We were ray-shifted.
Still, the theory was blame the Counterforce. Counterforce did it right there. There you go. Perfect.
Counterforce didn't even have to really do that much. Just, fuck with Doman a little. He was the guy who invited us. What a dumbass.
Yeah, well, that's how Counterforce works. The minimum amount of effort for the maximum result.
And the result is that Limbo got exploded.
Everyone liked that.
Yeah, it's the opposite of everyone disliked that. Everyone liked that. Thumbs up.
All right. So, this next one comes from Cahulian God, who says, do you think we'll ever get Santa as a genuine servant, not just someone taking his title, but the real deal? Also, before the reveal of Noah, I always had the idea of Santa being the Grand Rider, the master of the mechanical chariot, and living mythical reindeer capable of traversing the planet in a single night. Have there been others you think would have made interesting grand candidates?
I mean, yes, but also grands are weird, so it's...
Yeah.
It's one of those
also, Santa as a genuine servant is what's the word I want to use?
It's a weird one, to be sure.
Yeah, no, because the legend of Santa is just something from a bunch of, myths and legends that just, changed over the time.
Yeah, I guess you'd end up with not really a phantom, but like a built-in composite.
Yeah, no, like Santa as we know, would either be a phantom spirit or an amalgamation of a bunch of legends.
Like, let me see if I can grab an etymology of Santa Claus, specifically.
Santa Claus.
Because, aka Father Christmas. Because, obviously, St. Nicholas, there is a historical personage, St. Nicholas. He may actually count as a heroic spirit. He was Greek. There were... His specific saint days were actually, around December, but not directly on it. But still, there's, some wiggle room in there. But let's see. So, okay, so Santa Claus is like... Sorry, I'm just looking this up on even just basic Wikipedia, and it's like, okay, it gets very funny. So, St. Nicholas, right? He exists. Was a guy. Is a saint. So, in The Netherlands and Belgium region, that figure is known as Sinterklaas, which is the Dutch-ass, repronunciation of, Saint Nicholas, which I think means that then Santa Claus is just what happens when you de-Dutch that into, English. You just break it down into Santa Claus. It was weird. There's some extra days, Father Christmas stuff. Yeah, phonetic derivation of Sinterklaas in Dutch. So, if you wanted to get quote-unquote real Santa Claus, that could be heroic spirit Saint Nicholas, but that he would have very different abilities, right? Because he would be tied to certain things. Patron saint of archers, sailors, children, and pawnbrokers. Patron saints are weird. There's definitely some synergy with, Odin, so, yeah. An actual just calling him Santa Claus, that would be, an amalgam spirit who would be fucking weird. And FGO could do that. I honestly think their idea where servants kind of take on the mantle of the Santa Claus is arguably more interesting. Because, you usually have built-in buy-in with these characters rather than just be and here's Santa Claus, but in fate. Father Christmas. Unless there was, a very specific, once again, mythological canon they would draw from.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, some of those, Christmas carols and Christmas stories, that should fall under Rhyme's purview.
True.
Santa Rhyme when? Rama Claus. Christmas Nursery. Almost said Nurse Christmas, then I was wait! No. Already did that one.
So, in regards to the other thing, it's a design, with Gorgon, it's a design choice. Don't think too hard about it. A fun fact, though, if you do remember back in Babylonia when she was the enemy, that one did have no
Lucky,
legs.
that's the next question. We didn't read that one yet.
Is it?
Yeah, no. This person was about the Grants. We didn't actually read out that one. I'm
Oh,
glad
I'm
you
dumb.
got to that, because I want to talk that up. But no, we didn't read that out loud yet.
I put them together in my brain, okay.
We were on Julian God's question. That one is a person who technically doesn't have an alias, but I think we can take this first line as an alias. It's separate.
That's why I fucking... Okay, I think I kept reading. Okay, I'm dumb. Brain. So, okay. Now I see what I did. I didn't actually see the alias, so I kept reading on in my head, I think.
Kept breading on.
Breading on. So this next one comes from, since when is it winter tornado season? I'm gonna assume that's their alias. And they say, hey, I made it to mailbag. Alright, so I have one question and one sort of rant question. Question, what do you think the relationship is between Ibaraki and Suna's childhood friend? I kind of got the impression that she was maybe her child or herself turned into an Oni. Rant question, so I recently acquired a little snake god rating big snake cis energy. While admiring her little snaky tail, it brought back an issue I had with another snake goddess. Why does the serpent Gorgon have legs instead of just a tail? That in itself might not bother me too much, but she doesn't even use them. They just dangle uncomfortably on her sprite. Okay, now that I got that off my chest, hope you guys have a nice accident-free weekend leading up to the holidays. So I'm not gonna assume with the Ibaraki Suna thing. It's just a thing. It happened. Unless they actually tell me, I'm just gonna let it go because they leave that very ambiguous for a reason.
Yes, I feel like they wanted to draw you that there was some similarity there, but it could just be as simple as Ibaraki reminds him of her because they were, friends when they were kids. I don't know. Despite being a goodness knows how old Oni and powerful boss of Mount Oe, Ibaraki is, kind of baby.
Precious banana child. But as I mistaken myself earlier, with the Gorgon thing, I wouldn't think about it too hard. It's a design choice and an aesthetic.
Yeah, I mean, my simple answer to this was going to be, well, because Medusa has legs. It's we're talking about continuity of design energy. I don't think that Medusa or her sisters, the Gorgons, are usually described as having snake-like tails, per se. Obviously, lots of stuff blends that around. There are some snake lady themes that go on. Though I've talked about this before. I don't know who did the Lamia thing first. That is sometimes serpentine, but I think a lot of the actual myths involve, parts of a lion. So there's a couple of confusing descriptors, but I think the simplest answer is just Medusa has legs, so Gorgon has legs. She has, the huge claws and wings and a tail because that is one of the traditional descriptions of Gorgons. I believe it's brass wings and claws, for instance. But she's still supposed to be looking vaguely like Medusa, so, they're fairly similar. At least our Gorgon is. They did have to almost soft retcon it because her NP attack where she turns into a giant tentacle tower. That was supposed to be what the monstrous Medusa looked like in flashbacks in like Fate Stay Night and Fate Hollow Ataraxia. I guess somebody on the design team decided that would make it very difficult to write stories if she was just a weird pile of hair snake tentacles that shoots laser beams. Could you imagine Babylonia if she was always stuck in that form?
I feel like we'd be much more eldritch.
Yeah. It's still on theme, but it gets a little weird. I think the making her look like a lady works better for the like Tiamat comparisons. But yeah, I think that's my short version. Is just there's a lot of differences there. Honestly, I have no idea why little Ibuki Doji is part snack, other than I'm sure Raita thought it would be funny.
I'm pretty sure they're drawing the comparisons to Yamato no Orochi.
Yeah, it's true. They described that form as her recently hatched form.
Yeah, which would mean she'd be closest to as a Bunrai.
But also, I'm not going to take off the table that Raita thought it would be funny.
I was thinking about this. There's a lot of times where artists just create stuff and the design team just goes, "We're going to use this."
Yeah, it came up in the Chaldea break room for Heian Kintoki that, and I think I even talked about Ibuki a little bit. Raita was interviewed as the character designer and basically said that like a lot of the time he just decides to do something that would be like interesting or surprising or not what you'd expect, and then the FGO art team just gives him the thumbs up. That's how we got like Virgin Killer sweater Ibuki. He started with that design because he was like, that's different, powerful, fantastical, ancient Japanese god modern sweater meme. And then the art team is just like, ship it, send it.
And that's how we got the personality about her just kind of acting like, a office lady who likes to come home and drink.
Yeah.
So.
And I love that they spend so many fucking paragraphs in her story about it too. Like, there's a fucking like, the character profile has like a whole section where like Sherlock Holmes suspects that she may have met another servant who was influenced by the modern day, and this carried over through future subjects. They're just like, what? Wow, somebody really felt the need to explain to nerds why Ibuki is the way she is, but go for it.
I wonder if she
go off, King.
Oh, it might have been Suzuka.
It might be. I feel like they should hang out. They're all part of like major yokai.
Well, like I said, I've been doing a lot of research, and there are like weird ass stories about certain servants. Like there's some stories. I think it was like Neo has like, and Neo like I've been playing a lot of Neo, but Neo likes to take creative liberties with some of their with their lore. So I've been trying to fact check some things, but like who knows, like oh god, what was it? I can't. Well, actually, I'm gonna have to stick my foot in my mouth here because I remember there was something I looked up and did find out was actually very neat, but now I've forgotten what it is. I blame Neo Tengu for that because I did that boss fight in Neo 2 and I was blown away because I was not expecting her to show up in this game.
We'll come back to it later.
But
yeah, if you do want some more breakdown on some of the mythos behind Ibuki specifically, do check out the one that I tried to like actually break down like where kind of like the original mythos lies as basically like a regional name for the Shuten Doji myth, and then where fate gets into kind of the actual split there. It is kind of interesting because just trait-wise, if you guys don't know, if you look at her traits, Ibuki is still both a dragon and an Oni. So even as Ibuki, she still counts as an Oni for purposes of gameplay tags. But obviously she is kind of doing a different character thing than Shuten.
1 second, slapping this Yoki.
Sorry, it was a funny meme posted in games, that's why I went silent.
Hang on, I gotta go see it now.
It's relevant. I'm gonna retweet it. I mean, it's not relevant for me because I'm gonna play it on PS5, but it's an Armored Core 6 meme, chat. That trailer did look choice.
Alright.
And so, I think we have just the one left.
I'm not doing it. I told them to stop doing this. They did not stop. Fuck them.
Alright. We've reached that point. I think last week's was better.
Yeah.
That was just, you said a thing that was funny. This is, you're trying to make us pronounce things weird. I don't even know how to read these hash marks. Is that supposed to be rising vowel?
I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care. We're moving on.
I'm bad at this. Alright. Well, that was your mailbag. We are now at just crossing the hour-ish mark. We're going to keep on schmoving on. That means it's time for free talk. We got a few items here. I'll actually start at the bottom of my notes because I wrote the pregame part first, but there are a couple of things. First of all, if you're listening to us right now, on digital platforms, Mahoyo is out. Witch in the Holy Night is out I haven't really heard anything, crazy from people right now. Just it's out. I think people are enjoying it.
I think the most crazy thing I heard is people have been surprised about the size of it.
Yeah. It's both a little small but a little big. I think it's like 20 gigs.
Mm.
If you're curious, like, man, that seems, big for a visual novel. Well, it's because I believe there's a remastered soundtrack and new cinematics and stuff in it. So, and voice files, obviously. It was not fully voiced before, which I believe it is now. So it's big boy files. But again, obviously, you're still getting a lot of content for that, as I remarked off camera. The Forspoken playable demo out now on the PlayStation Store is 30 gigabytes, and that's took me 3 hours. So, files, sizes, things. But yeah, that's out there. Obviously, I think Lucky and I have both talked about this, but to remind everybody, we have pre-ordered the Special Boy physical edition, which comes out not until later in January. So that's when I'll be picking that up. We have talked before, and you people have seemed interested in us running the demo version, just for a little teaser taste. So we may try and work that into our schedule sometime. That said, we have just started on our Monday streaming God of War Ragnarok, having a great time with that already. And, maybe kind of sort of took home 6 Game Awards the other night. Just saying. So we'll be probably doing that on the normal for foreseeable future. But we can try and sketch in some Mahoyo somewhere if you guys are still keen for that. Let us know how you feel below. But yeah, it's out there. People are enjoying it. Hope they're having a good time. I'm hoping it's selling a lot. Though obviously, I assume that Type Moon and the Aniplex guys doing the publishing and stuff, the new localization, have to know that because they are kind of stutter stepping this release. You got one here, one release there, that they're gonna get their sales on a curve, as it were. Mm-hmm. But still gonna be pretty interesting, and I hope it does well, because I feel like I'm gonna just guesstimate here, but based on what I know of how video game releases usually go, this is probably kind of an experiment. It's obviously something that they wanted to do. It has been about 10 years, I think. And obviously Nasu is very attached to this story. We've talked about it at length. Witch of the Holy Night is basically the first idea for a Nasu-verse type story he had. It just wasn't ready for proper publication yet. The first one he ended up actually publishing was Kara no Kyokai. Mm-hmm. Though obviously that involves characters who are in Witch of the Holy Night, so, you can see the strains there. So this wasn't a rewrite per se. This is just an official localized release, officially translated and released internationally with voice acting and music and the special edition stuff. Fate Stay Night got this a few years back, the Reality Nua version, which was on PS2 originally, and then is currently on iOS and Android in Japan. So maybe we'll see releases of that over here if this does well, if people are interested, stuff like that. Possibly for Tsukihime? I don't know. So I assume this is they're testing their forays in the wider market for if it works. As some people have kind of pointed out, this probably isn't being made specifically exactly to cater necessarily to the Western audience. We've talked about this before. The English subs were probably already going to be in the version of the game that was this remaster that was going to be released to Southeast Asia anyway. They do that a lot in Japan in a lot of those markets, because a lot of people are bilingual anyway. This was just well, if we're going to translate it into English anyway, we're trying to do a bigger push on some of this media. Why not release it broader and let it out there? So I hope it is doing well. I will be checking it out when it comes out physically. Speaking of things that will not be coming out on time, it appears that the Strange Fake special has been delayed. This was originally planned to be their big New Year's thing. There was some confusion of this in the pre-show, but we got it locked in now. We get news articles and stuff. So it was supposed to be December 31st, part of their New Year's special, right? Something that FGO almost always does. Fate has a big New Year's special. They drop all the New Year's banners. They give you a little, special promo video, whether that's an OVA or, at one point that was the pilot for case files, etc.
Yep.
But apparently, due to production issues, it is delayed indefinitely. We do not have an exact time frame on when it will be released. So that's interesting. A little sad. I know a lot of people are highly anticipating this special. We do know that it's been hyped up enough that at Aniplex's fan festival in Japan, they fucking put Albert on the big screen to talk about it being simuldubbed, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. And then in the reverse for Anime NYC, they got the anime producer who was at that Aniplex event to come out and talk it up to the American audience as well. So obviously they're putting a lot of effort and marketing into this, probably putting a lot of money behind this TV special. And maybe it just wasn't perfect, so we had to push it. I don't know. But we will let you know when we find out about when it's going to actually come out.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how they're going to handle that one. I guess it'll just be on the internet somewhere. Maybe they'll have FGO will have another stream they could work it in. We'll see. But I think that means that it's time to do the Santa Karna pre-game. Because we do have a new event coming out, and I'm sure y'all want to hear about it. We got another Christmas time Lotto event with time gates, so most of you probably know the drill here. It's pretty straightforward. Basically, every day there's going to be another little bit of content released. You got to catch up on that content, and then you got to be ready to move on to new content. Content. Like most big Lotto events, this one only requires you to clear Fuyuki to access it at all. So don't expect any, weird major spoilers or anything. Just going to have some fun, get out there. Do some Chrimbus. So, because they've already posted the time get release schedule, I can very clearly tell you it's broken up. You're going to be looking at a prologue, 7 rounds or tiers of main quest, and an epilogue. Completing all of these will net you the temporary Santa Karna, a craft essence, a 3-star craft essence, 6 Saint Quartzes, and a Grail. And completing the main story will unlock your ability to exchange for the permanent Santa Karna. It's one of those kinds of Christmas Lotto events. Pretty typical. In general, reading ahead, story fight content should be pretty simple. Expect a lot of Lancers and a lot of Dragons for no particular reason. Though I'm going to warn you, there's going to be a couple of these main story quests where they're going to do a interesting class swap on first break bar gimmicks. You're going to be minding your own business fighting a particular servant, and then you're going to boop them, and then they're going to turn into a different kind of mob or something. Usually some kind of dwagon. I do believe they're also... I think these giant snake enemies I'm seeing are brand new. But yeah, there should be some Lancer snakes that are giant snakes. Keep that in mind. I think the only one that is worth discussing is the final boss to clear the, final round quest 7. That boss is going to be a Lancer. They're going to have 52, 87, 113,000 HP over 3 break bars. And they're going to have a lot of defensive buff tricks. They're going to have special damage resistance, my personal favorite, which will scale up slowly as they get beat up. At 1 break bar, they will give themselves lots of damage cut for 3 turns that you can't get rid of. And in general, they're just going to try and be really tanky, and it sounds slightly annoying. Though you do get damage bonus, so hopefully it won't be too much of a problem. It is a Fuyuki clear only, so it's not like these numbers are huge. I think most of the bosses in Heian-kyo had more HP than this. Also, every time gate, you're going to unlock ascending tiers of free quest. All the free quests are thankfully monoclass. Now, I'm going to warn you, the final node, which is the best all-around drops, best for lottos and general currency, is a 2-1-2 round. And I believe it's archers, so keep that one in mind. That one's probably going to be a little bit weird if you're not packing the right kind of heat. But the one before that, I believe, is lancers, and that is going to be the best lotto currency node on its own. And that is normal. It's three guys every 3 waves. So you should be able to still farm that one normally. It's if you want the currency stuff you're going to have to watch out for. But you can probably drop down a tier or 2 if you want to catch up on your currency drops without needing to deal with that 2-1-2 nonsense. It's fucking with your loops. But wave bosses should be pretty simple. You're going to be looking at HP that's around... I've seen some that are as high as 120. The final one is about up to 170k HP. Most of your mobs and stuff are going to be much lower than that. Some of them don't even break 100k in a lot of these quests. I did not specify, but if you were new to this, basically your first couple quests are going to start at like 20 and go up, and then almost all of them are going to be 40 AP after. So expect a lot of big AP spends. This is why a lot of people save apples for this. There are also, once again, some kind of baby challenge quest Santa matches. You unlock these after completing every main story round. Completing them will get you some mats and some black presence items to speed you along your story progression. We'll circle back to that one later in my notes. But it's just another extra little thing to get you some extra quests, get you some drops, like, 5 pomegranates, 5 of some other stuff. I think there's a 5 void dust in there, even though void dust is in the lotto. It's a little weird. But just a little extra spicy thing for you to check out. It is not technically mandatory, but it does help you make sure to progress in your main story a little faster. Now, to speedy speedboy through this, you will have access to some bonus servants. So, as you might expect, Santa Karna, the welfare, and Vitra, the banner servant, are plus 100% damage and plus 50% bond. Your next batch is going to be 50% damage up and 20% bond. This includes Arjuna, Altera the Santa, Nightingale Santa, Karna, Janda Arc Santa Altar Lily, Parvati, Santa Altar, Georgios, Arjuna Altar, Beowulf, Sambakets, and Summer Martha. So you're getting a vibe here. There's a lot of, Indian servants, but also lots of Christmases are coming back. Dust off your old welfares. And then in the 30% damage up and 20% bond, you've got Sigurd, Mordred, Siegfried, Ashvataman, Liz, Lamdarillis, specifically, not Melt, regular Martha, Red Hair, Skadi, yes, that's right, Skadi is a bonus servant. It's very funny. Sieg, Rhyme, Osakabehime, Kama, Chiome, Kiyohime, and Hokusai. And Mash is also in that 30% damage bracket, but she does her usual 5% bond to everybody. So you've got a wide variety of servants to pick from. Obviously, I think Arjuna Altar with that 50% damage bonus is going to be pretty choice here for a lot of people, because farming go burr. But there's still a lot of valid choices in there, and I think the main thing is that there's not a lot of extra classes, but you shouldn't need to worry about that too much with the way the free farming and stuff breaks out. Focus on leveling and getting those ascension mats for your free Karna. You should have a fun time. Also, by the way, you can expect to see some of these characters in story supports even. Yes, there are story support characters fully embraced for this event. And also some Hans and Shez cameos at the end there. Not really sure what that's about. I guess we'll see. They're on that bonus list. Now, what are you doing those bonus servants for? What do you got there? You need them? It's for high-speed, low-drag Lotto boxes, baby! So, as you can expect, the Lotto boxes will have your usual Karna Ascension items. The fifth one will have your exchange ticket for Permanent Boy. There will be a lore in here and some golden foes. The first 20 boxes also contain black presents. You need a certain amount of black presents, or maybe everybody needs a certain amount of black presents. That's a little unclear to me, but you need the presents to clear the main story. They, along with the time gate, are part of your gut check to getting into more main story. In addition, the boxes will contain skill gems. All of them. All the skill gems are in the boxes. Each box will also contain over 4 million QP. That's per box, by the way. I say over because it doesn't go quite as high as 5, but it's slightly different as well. Like, one is like 4.48, one is like 4.43. It's almost 4.5 million QP per box. Have fun. You also get friend points, mana prisms, apples, and remember, as usual, that's gold apples only for the first handful of boxes, then it goes off to usually just silver and bronze. EXPs are all up in there, plus materials such as spinal fluid, dust, seeds, horseshoes, and the Xmas exchange ticket. The ticket can further be exchanged for your choice of bloodstones, god orbs, or big bells. There are also Christmas gongs in there. The Christmas gong can be used to exchange in the shop for your extra copies of Karna. So it's just get gongs, get Karna NPs, and also even more QP. This is also how you get unlockers and stuff, but mainly you're going to be spending on the QP. I know you will. You can also use a limited number of them to exchange for a special free quest, which gets you a lot of mats, but, requires you to spend. That unlocks the ticket, that usual thing. So keep that in mind. You're going to want some of these. The shop will contain 4 copies of the Lotto CE, Pain Pecco, but also will contain all 3 of the command codes. They're just in the shop. No need to pick up any weird quests to get them. Just get them right there. It'll contain foes. It'll also contain bones! That's right, bones in the shop. And also steaks in the shop. But also you've got serpent gems, dragon fangs, ice, scarabs, crowns, reactor cores, scales, and berserker saber and archer statues if you need those. If you be needing them. Now, to get you the currency to buy all this beautiful stuff, there will be some summon banners. These will contain CEs for the usual bonuses. 3-star CE gets you the bronze currency. 4-star CE gets you the silver currency. 5-star CE gets the gold currency. Big currency stuff. So the first banner is already confirmed. That will be Ritra, Summer Martha, and Beowulf on at all times, and the event CE. Now, this is an interesting bit of speculation. We don't know for sure what's going to happen here, but I'm going to predict. Originally, in JP, this was before they had Pity. So, what it was in JP times was it was an Arjuna Karna rotation with Parvati up all the time. Now that Pity is a thing, and we've already seen them kind of break it out, for instance, with the rerun, I expect this will actually turn into 3 total banners. In about a week, they will probably announce a separate Arjuna and Karna banner. I do not know if it will be Parvati on raid up on both. It might be, because they did say both Summer Martha and Beowulf for the main ones, so don't know exactly how they're going to shake that out. Also, I didn't put it in my exact notes because I do not exactly understand how it works. But there is a thing called the SP Lotto. It involves the Black Presence somehow, but you can only access it after you've cleared main story. That has extra shit in there, like some extra mats, some quartz fragments and stuff like that. I I'm gonna say that I didn't include that in the pregame because you'll have plenty of lead up to that. That will be revealed, I think, once we get about a week in, once all the main quests are available. So how that will actually work out is going to be clear. If somebody in chat knows, they can explain it to me. But like I said, doing my research, I couldn't get a clear vibe on how that works. I'm gonna guess it's probably gonna be that after you've collected all the black presents to clear the main story, you can then spend a limited number of them on a lotto to get extra stees. So you are kind of incentivized to do those Santa matches and some other fun stuff, but it is not required for sure. All in all, Big Boy Christmas Lotto. It's got all the stuff you want. It's got all the things kids crave. Skill gems. Lots of QP. If you're hurting for some of those items, obviously they are in there pretty big. God Orbs, the Divine Spiritrons, those are relatively new, so they're pretty important. I'm going to be slamming that shop for them bones and them steaks. I think I'm pretty good on ice. I probably need some more soaps, but they're not in this event. Curse you, Scotty skills. 2 years of dodging the Scotty conspiracy, and I still am behind on mats. But yeah, should be a good event. Definitely leaning very heavily on, like I said, the Indian servants and some dragon servants and some dragon slayers. Though, funnily enough, even though she is a dragon, Ibuki is not in this event. She still might be good, though. She got that pierce. Have fun. Def ignoring. But yeah, it should be a fun time, I think. And definitely, I am ready to restock some of my skill gem supplies, because I am eternally out of blue caster gems. I can never get enough of those. I think my Tommo skills are still, really fucking low, even though I've had her for, nearly a year at this point, just because don't got the blue gems. But, yeah, there you go. Go nuts. I'm gonna go a little ham. And reminder, everybody, if you are concerned about Fate Grand Automata, that's still kind of up in the air. When they released their last Lotto event, JP did say that they were gonna start tracking, your frequency of clicks. But that was not necessarily something they are verboting. They are just saying that they are updating their privacy policy to let you know. They track how frequently you click. How could you click? Let me make sure. Let me check, updates and stuff. Is there anything? No, it's just game update completion notices. I don't think there's anything in news or maintenance, so I don't think anything in the NA terms of service has been updated. Obviously, when you do use third-party apps, you got to keep that in mind, but so far, I don't think anybody has been... I haven't heard anybody talking about being banned for firing up Fate Grand Automata or anything. Just, again, keep in mind that in JP anyway, they may be tracking your taps. No news on if it is in NA. I am sure I will see that on Twitter, or somebody will yell at us in the YouTube comments if there is been an update, but no such update has occurred. And I guess, best of luck for those of you rolling for Vitra. She's permanent, so I am holding out for reasons. You know what reasons. We had a fucking big boy episode about it when it happened. Hold on, I've got some Patreon notifications. Yep, it's just that one guy liking all of our AP backlogs. Thank you, sir. There is at least one patron who is just going down the list of our AP backlogs in audio format and liking all the posts.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we like the extra effort. And hey, y'all, you can get all of our audio backlogs for this show. You want to download all our old episodes and listen back on your own time? I mean, I appreciate the YouTube ad rev, but you can also hit us up on Patreon if you prefer. You can access What's Up audio as well, and our actual plays for tabletop RPGs and other fun stuff that way as well. But the reason why I was on Patreon is because I want to check the Fan Servant Friday poll. Let's see, we've got 16 total votes. You guys are coming out, showing up. But you still got... Let's see. It is not showing me my exact time to finish, but I believe it's you got until the 15th, probably? Maybe the 16th. So you got about a week left. Vanagandar is obviously still winning a little bit with 44%. But we got a few votes all around. So there's still plenty of time to swing that one, if you're interested in something else. But it is all very wintry themed. So, you guys will break down into all that. Also, for those of you who care, I do have the Fail Betrayal the poll up for Fail Betrayal, our Yu-Gi-Oh! Live stream series that happens, usually. There's a lot less of you, about half as many of you as voted in that one. But the poll's open if you're interested. Well, I'm sure you'll yell about it later in the week. Yeah, let's see. Wow, couldn't even fluff it out to an hour and a half.
Oh, geez, really?
Yeah, I'm trying to faff, but... Listen, there's news, but it's a speedrun of news. I can't pregame Lotto boxes too hard, because it's... A, they do it 2 or 3 times a year, so most of you know, and B, it's designed to be but simple. I'm happy for it, We don't really set, huge Lotto box goals, or we don't hit them. I imagine I will have some time to kill to actually do Lottos. Let's see. When does it start? The 12th, right? So, Crisis Core comes out in the next couple of days. Don't know how hard I'll be jamming that one, but we should have some free time. I don't really know what any of the choice setups are. I feel like the game wants you to have Ritra for the highest tier node, or at least the highest tier node that's AP only, not the currency, because that's, like I said, that's archers, I think. I'm gonna guess your best comps involve, like I said, Arjuna Altar, because he is a bonus servant, and he's also really good at fucking 3-turn clears and shit anyway, big damage. So, there's definitely something you could already be doing in that ballpark. Let me relook at the bonus list. Right, we don't 3-turn clear with him, but you can blow waves the fuck up. You can probably have some funny. I mean, Scotty is a bonus servant, so that's fun, but I don't know if you can actually utilize her, because there's not any really big quick servants who are also bonus servants. I mean, Altera the Santa is. You might be able to get some funny stuff out of that. Like I said, I'm gonna guess the optimal strat is probably gonna be Vritra double Castoria, because she's arts, but obviously that means rolling for the new servant. Lambda is on the bonus, so you can do some Castoria Lambda Rillis setups. I have a level 100, Mordred, so she has bonus damage. I'm probably going to try and make that work for the Lancer node, and just feed her all the NP regain. But there's definitely some stuff there. A lot of people should have a plethora of backlog of Christmas welfares to pick from. Chat, once again, people at home, drop in the comments what you think Listen, if they give me... Sorry, somebody in Patreon chat did, in fact, full-blown call me out. I wouldn't be me if I didn't use Mordred on a Lancer node. But she's a bonus servant, guys. I have grails for this. It's perfect. I spent pure prisms to get fantasy scales to level up her append skill for starting NP charge to 10. I've put some effort into this, y'all. I know what's up. No, it probably won't actually take 7 or 9 turns. Also, I'm gonna be real with you. If I want to go high speed, low drag, Parvati is a bonus, right? Okay, yeah. So for that 2-1-2, you might be able to... I don't know if that'll fuck up your hit counts for Scotty looping, but you can try. Parvati is a bonus servant. Well, this does give me an incentive to level my Scotty skills, just in case.
What is my Parvati at, anyway?
Well, yours is probably pretty good. I don't know if you've extra juiced her, but I know you're down a clown, so... I'm trying to think, what other ones. What I was saying was that, I think with the HP levels, you can probably, if you're, got an Omega-type setup, you can probably just Summer Musashi Smooth brand this with double Castoria. Just gonna say. Let me actually look up, how much HP the non-2-1-2 wave, because you can't 3-turn the 2-1-2 wave very easily, because that fucks with your NP gain.
By the way, they do have the upcoming event tab open on support setups. You can get that started.
Yeah, alright. Well, that's good to know. There you go. Double extra pro tip, everybody. Set up your support setups now. And remember... You can have up to 3 event setups, so if, you can spread out your casters and your berserkers and fun stuff. I actually have a decent number of these units. I might be able to actually build some multiple support setups. That could be fun. But, the Christmas 2020, main quest. Not main quest, free quest. Free quest, so... The highest one... Yeah, heavyweight is Lancer. That opens after round 6. Your boss in that wave, is a Lancer with 100k HP. So yes, you can absolutely just, if you want a lot of Lotto currency, and I may end up doing this, you can just double Castoria Musashi that. Musashi should easily be able to hit 100k damage on that last wave. And I think Lancers give you good NP gain. Berserkers don't, and I think Assassins don't, but I think you get better NP gain from beating up Lancers. Or average, I don't know. I mean, you can certainly try a Jason loop. He is arts. That would be funny. Lancer's average? Okay, yeah. You should probably be able to get some stuff out of that. The super heavyweight is archers, and that's the 2-1-2. And you gotta hit 176k on that last wave. That's gonna be weird. I'd love to see what you guys can do. But that is the one that gives you the best all-around drops. It gives you good currencies and good Lotto. The special one as well is also Archer, but thank God. So the special one you can do for to beat up by spending the currency, the gongs, and that gives you the ticket. That's ludicrously easy. That's 55k. They're all archers. So there you go. There's some extra farming strats, chat. Wasn't in my planned show notes, but it's good to keep track of. Yes, okay, so these giant snake enemies are new. Gonna be some giant snake enemies, by the way. I mentioned that earlier. I don't think they're really weird. I got some different classes. They're mostly Lancers in the Christmas event. They're Wild Beasts and Demonic. Not that I think anybody in the setup has any trait overlap for that. Because, funnily enough, I don't think Rama is on the bonus list.
I did not see him, no.
Yeah. So there won't really be any overlap there. Hokusai is on this bonus list, and there are some Berserker nodes, but it's mostly other classes. Like I said, Lancer's going to show up a lot, so time to get your return of investment on Sabers and Berserkers. And then there was another thing I was going to say, but then I got distracted by chat. But that doesn't work. That dance doesn't work. I played all of Henry Stickmin on our channel. You can check it out. We did cross an hour and a half with that extra diversion, though, so we can probably start to wind down. Obviously, the video will be shorter than that. I'd appreciate chat, people home, watch it twice. Tell your friends. But Lottos are pretty straightforward. I'm sure we'll have, a little bit of an event breakdown. We'll let you know how we're doing on Lottos and stuff. I can go a little ham because I'm not planning on anything super crazy for the rest of this month, since we are going to give, I'm going to give Callisto Protocol a miss. Lucky is going to stare at the case surlily.
I think I'm going to play it tomorrow on WhatsApp, actually.
Oh, that'll be good. That'll be a good tie-in. You could also get a decent chunk of the game done, depending on how long it takes us. And What's Up should be pretty full, because obviously we will, with the Game Awards, we'll have a lot to break down on that one, both who won and how we feel about that. I think we're only going to be possibly salty about a couple of awards, for the most part. Unlike some people on the internet. Some people on the internet got surprised by some stuff, but...
no, they're pretty on point for, 90% of the awards.
I think even the ones that I'm disappointed by, I'm not, surprised.
Yeah.
But there were also loads and loads of trailers and announcements we can talk about, some of which we are very hype about, if you haven't seen us yelling loudly on Twitter in the middle of the night already. And I think there is actually some other going around news. But what I was going to bring up, actually, though, funnily enough, was... I remember this came up, I think, during our last Lotto event. I talked about how it was hard for me to, multitask certain stuff and play FGO, but... because I, do certain things through my phone, but it's very funny. I not necessarily related to this, but I brought up to my mother that I needed some, I need to buy, an audio bar or a Bluetooth speaker, and she was like, oh, I have a Bluetooth speaker I'm not using. It's really good. And so I have to set that up now, but now I can, do audiobooks or podcasts or other shit on my computer and then still use my phone to push button. The power of multitasking, chat. I do know that some of you like to multitask and listen to us while you are lotto farming. I'm kind of sorry I can't give you a better vibe right now, but the farming hasn't started. Maybe next week we'll be getting you some extra juice. But for that, there will also be What's Up. That will be live almost assuredly before this, or after this. Sorry, other way around. After this goes out live to public on YouTube. Obviously, if you're a patron, you're getting this early, so it'll be the next day. That will have an audio version as well. You can download as a patron, $1 and up, $10 a year. Year's almost over. If you want to invest in a whole year in Studio Omega, it's pretty easy. Consider us. Get plenty of fun time benefits, including you get to look in on our secret patron chat where patrons yell about things and post weird gifs. But, actually, no, I have another upsell as well for tomorrow. I will also be talking about the Forspoken demo, because I have played it and completed it. So, if the broader listening audience wants to hear that up, check it out. And of course, if you want more content of us to grind out your Lotto Box days, be sure to check out our Monday stream series. Just started God of War Ragnarok. Winner of many awards at the Game Awards. Check it out. We'll be continuing that for the foreseeable future. We will also be continuing Final Fantasy XIV streams. Had a good one this week. Go ahead and roll out back. Check that out. Fail Betrayal is our Yu-Gi-Oh! Stream series. That is also a Big Boy episode this week that you can listen to us yell about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit. Nope. I'm not gonna continue the saga. There's a certain phrase that cropped up over several streams this week. I'm not gonna keep the joke going. Just watch back our previous week of streams and see if you can find the continuity point. But yeah, it's a great way to get us more content. Keep your eye out for Wanted Ritra. That will be in a time and a place. I am gonna guesstimate that it's probably not gonna blow crazy up like the Doma one didn't really blow crazy up. I think it, only just scooched over 1K. But it did very good considering that Wanteds have been a little low, including the Ibuki Wanted. What's wrong with you, chat? What's wrong with you? Go watch that video right now. But I'm still going to knock it out because I'm interested to do a little background here, do a little reading, see some fun stuff, talk about some stats, think about Arts Lancers. But yeah, that's I think all about the usual extra shillifying I can do. So I can go ahead and wrap this one on up. Unless we forgot something. I don't think we did. Chat, did we forget anything? Nobody's typing. We've forgotten nothing. Our memory is perfect. We are a fortress of intellect. Thank you for reposting that depressing meme once again, Architect. That's okay. The comments have been a little more responsive lately. Last week we did have that mailbag question about what buffs or debuffs you don't like to see on bosses, and some people did have some extra things to throw out there. We got them engaged. Give us your engagement. Like this video. Post a comment. Join our Discord. Our Discord is free, by the way. Discord added monetization. You don't have to be a patron or have a membership to access our Discord. It's all free. It's a fun time. Subscribe to our channel. I don't know why I'm making like a weird swirly hand gesture to keep the rhythm. I'm gonna stop it. You guys can't see anything. Smash the bell so you always know when we post a new video or we stream. Consider joining channel memberships for membership badges and emotes. Emotes, chat. You want emotes. You love emotes. And also, like I said before, support us on Patreon. Many different tiers, many different benefits. Get access to polls, access to posts, audio, listen to the show live all the time if you want. It's a great time. All right, well, I hope to see you guys at What's Up, and, happy Lotto hunting, everybody, as always. Hope everybody's having a good holiday season. And with that, to all a good night.
Good night.
Yippee-ki-yay.